Due to a miracle marketing strategy beyond the realms of reasonable possibility, it is announced simultaneously on radio, DAT, compact disc and TV that John, Paul, George and Ringo, they're going to be reforming as the Beatles in 1993. I got that bit wrong. And things skip into action immediately. George buys the film rights in a flurry of activity, and Paul says they're not going to play Japan. Ringo cancels his 5-year chat show plan, and John, who was never the quiet one, John stays silent for the time being. And the world sings, when the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. It's going to be sponsored by Private Issue, Ringo's credit card. When the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. And lawyers start to draw up large contracts involving sponsorship, t-shirt deals and Michael Jackson. They're interviewed on live TV about management deals and corporate policy. Who's going to be the new manager of the Beatles? Well, I updated this bit. The new manager's going to be Robert Shapiro and Johnny Cochran, and George says he's not even going to play unless they bring the Maharishi. Well, the Fab Four are interviewed on live TV, but for some reason they're just the Fab Three, with a cardboard cutout of John wearing a very strange smile, with no shoes on, which starts a libelous John is dead rumor, which Rolling Stone reveals is just hype for the tour. Well done, boys. The world sings, when the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. Sponsored by Pizza Hut, crust first. When the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. Well, The Who, The Stones, Debbie Gibson and Diana Ross record a supergroup single. A very great cost, but it's so hard to make the charts because everyone's taken the new Beatles to heart. From the time of the announcement of the gig to the gig on Chase Stadium, named as all you Ruttles fan know, after the Cuban gorilla Chase Stadium. Every record on the top 40 on both sides of the Atlantic for 3 whole years is written by Lennon and McCartney. Except Something, that's the only one by George Harrison anybody can remember. Finally, they get into the studio. Guess what? They're going to be co-produced by George Martin and Jeff Lynne. And Ringo's disappointed to find that no one needs him anymore except for the vibe, because he's now been sampled. You can download it off your computer. Yeah, George gets Monty Python in to do some vocals, and Linda takes a lot of photos for a book that gets sold out before she even thought of putting it out. And John, who was never the quiet one, makes all his press contributions from his old songs in tune, in time, but with a new backing track recorded behind it. When they ask him how it's been in the studio, he says, well, it's been a hard day's night. No one understands him, but he always was the cryptic one. When the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. And finally, the record hits the shelves, and it's called The Beatles. From ourselves, and for anyone who didn't realize or know, it sounded a lot like ELO, or ELP, or FYC, or XTC, or REM, or BTO, or PIL, or YMO, but it didn't sound much like PSI, it didn't sound much like PS, I love you. And the day before the big gig at Che, the rumor goes round, people are saying that they're not going to play, that the whole thing's been just a big insurance scam to get the Apple reissues selling again. Very cynical, but suddenly we're over in the stadium. We're live on MTV, BBC, CNN. Not anymore, actually. Now it'll be a pay-per-view. And Wolf Blitzer's there, and Bernard Shaw is there for CNN. He's going, I am under the table at Chase Stadium. And the lights go down, and the screaming stops, and suddenly you can hear a pin drop. Yes, suddenly they're there, all 4 of them, and I get scared as they go into I Saw Her Standing There. They crash through the best set in the world, and they encore with the whole of Sgt. Pepper's. In order, and they're gods, and I'm in heaven. The Beatles have reunited. But on the very last quarter of a day in the life, the Beatles are beamed off into outer space, into a waiting spaceship, folks, which takes them to a better place, a place where reunions are not expected of anybody, not even the Eagles, thank God. And this is my dream. I bought it, I bought the product, and now I'm happy. You can believe believe what you like, but it happened. That's all, folks, it'll probably happen again. And sadly, when the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America, they're gonna be supported by the Velvet Underground. When the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America, one more time for MTV, yeah. When the Beatles hit America, when the Beatles hit America. Thank you. I should put that on an album one day, I guess.